Okay, so in this video we're going to start doing equations which have variables on both sides. Now when I say a variable, remember what I said earlier on, it literally just means a letter that we have. So I've said, remember, equations remain true if you do the same thing or do the same operation on both sides. The other thing I want you to remember is we are always aiming to get x equals by itself only once. We don't want there to be an x equals or an x appearing twice. So how will we solve something like this one and this one that we've got here? Well, the trouble is that we've got x's on both sides. And what we always want to do is we want to get rid of the smaller x. We want to get rid of the smaller x, okay? So I think if we're going to do something to both sides, I want to get rid of this 3x that we have here. And the way that I'm going to get rid of that 3x, because I've taken it away from that side, is I'm going to have to take it away from that side, because remember, it only remains true if you do the same thing on both sides. So underneath this, I'm going to rewrite some things simplified. So first we'll need to work out what is 7x take away 3x. Well, the answer to that is 4x. The minus 10 stays there. The 3x, I subtracted, I removed it, and I've just got plus 2. Now, I don't normally write plus 2, I'd just write 2, wouldn't I? Because it's a positive 2. That's referring to the fact that it's positive. Now we've got it to this stage, it's just like a regular equation that you're going to solve. So I'll get rid of the minus 10, and I'll get rid of that by doing the opposite, which is just plus 10. So I get 4x equals 12. I'll get rid of the 4 by dividing by 4. Which leaves me with x equals 12 divided by 4, which is 3. Now what does this even mean? How has this worked? Well, if x equals 3, let's just have a look at what this part of the equation would be, the 7x minus 10. If it was 7x minus 10 and x is 3, it would be 7 times 3 minus 10. That's 21, take away 10, it would be 11. Let's look at this 3x plus 2. If I just jot this down as 3x plus 2, if I do 3 times x, which is 3 times 3 plus 2, I get 9 plus 2, which is 11. So we have made the equation true. We've made 11 equal 11 when x is equal to 3. So this one's a bit different because I said we want to get rid of the smaller x. So in this time, we want to get rid of the 2x. The way we're going to get rid of that 2x is I'm just going to remove it. And I remove that 2x by subtracting it. So what I'm left with is a 5. Again, I don't need to write positive 5. If it was a negative, I would write a negative. But if we don't write something in front of a number, we know it means it's positive. 7x take away 2x is 5x. And there's still the plus 20. Now this is just like a normal equation. I'm going to get rid of that plus 20 by subtracting 20. 5 take away 20, that is minus 15. So minus 15 equals 5x. And then I'm going to divide by the 5 like this. 15 divided by 5 is 3. But it's negative 15 divided by 5, so it is negative 3. So the answer is that x is negative 3. Now I'm going to do these 6 examples that we've got here, and then I'll do a trickier one and a your turn as well. So remember, you're always trying to get rid of the smaller x. In this case, it's going to be the 5x. So I'll take away the 5x from here because I did it on the other side. So that leaves me with 2x plus 1. 7x take away 5x is 2x. Equals 13. I'm going to get rid of the plus 1 by taking away 1. So 2x is equal to 12. I'll then get rid of the 2 by dividing by 2. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. So the answer that would make this true is x equals 6. If you sub it in here quickly, 7 times 6 is 42, plus the 1 is 43. 5 times 6 is 30. Plus the 13 is 43, so we've made it work. Okay, and the next one that we've got, the smaller x is 8x, so I'm going to get rid of that 8x by subtracting it over here. I get left with 14, you don't need to write the plus, is 9x take away 8x, that's 1x, but we don't really write 1x, we just write x, so we get x minus 1. I'll get rid of the minus 1 by doing plus 1, this one's really easy because we immediately get that x is equal to 15. So you can see now why we needed the method. Again, if you want to, you can put this dotted line down the middle. I've stopped doing that. So we've got a choice. Which is the smaller x? We've got minus 2x or we've got plus 2x. When we're talking about smaller things, we also mean the most negative. So this one is the most negative. It's the smallest one. Now when I get rid of this, I'm not going to do minus 2x, because when I get rid of this minus 2x on this side, what I'm actually doing, the opposite of subtracting 2x, is plus 2x. So to get rid of this, I actually need to plus 2x. Just think about why that's true. If you have minus 2x and you plus 2x to it, you get 0. They kind of cancel out. So that's what's happening with this bit, why I'm crossing it through, and that's why I'm adding 2x to get rid of that. So let's just go about actually finishing this off. I'm going to now simplify so that I'm left with a 12 on that side equals 24 plus 4x. I'll get rid of the 24 by subtracting 24. 12 take away 24, that's negative 12 equals 4x. And I'm going to get rid of that 4 by dividing by 4. Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3, so the answer is that x equals negative 3. Okay, this one's interesting. I need to decide, what do you think is the smaller x, 4x or this one over here? Well, this one isn't 5x, this one is negative 5x, and negative 5x is smaller, it's lower on the number line than 4x. So I'm going to get rid of the negative 5x. I get rid of the negative 5x by doing the opposite, which is positive 5x. Remember, it's always the opposite. 4x plus 5x is 9x, so it's 9x take away 2 equals 16. Becomes a normal equation, so I'll plus the 2 so that we get 9x equals 18, and then I will divide by the 9, and 18 divided by 9 is 2, so the answer is x equals 2. Now we can have this with brackets. We did in an earlier video. The best thing to do here is just to expand the brackets, because you won't be able to divide by 3. So let's expand the brackets before we do anything. We get 6 minus 3x equals 8 minus 4x. This one is smaller, even though it looks bigger, because it's negative 4. It's lower on the number line than minus 3x. So I'm going to get rid of this by adding 4x to the other side. Be really careful with this stage. So you've got a 6 that doesn't have anything happen to it. And then you've got minus 3 plus 4. Now you can check all these things, but minus 3 plus 4 is obviously just going to be equal to 1. So it's just going to be 1x, which is just going to be x. And then you get 8 on that side. I'll get rid of the 6 by doing take away 6. And so x is equal to 2. 8 take away 6 is 2. This one just needs brackets expanding on both sides. 4 times 2 is 8. And 4 times x is 4x. 3 times 2x is 6x, and 3 times 5 is 15. Then I'm going to get rid of the smaller x, which is 4x, so I'll subtract 4x. That leaves me with 8 equals 6x take away 4x is 2x, plus 15. And then I'm going to get rid of the plus 15 by subtracting 15. 8 take away 15 is negative 7, which is equal to 2x. So I shall divide by the 2. And 7 divided by 2, you can either leave that as a fraction, you could write minus 7 over 2, or you could actually do 7 divided by 2, negative 7 divided by 2, sorry, which is 3.5, negative 3.5. I'm just going to do these last tricky example that I've got here, and then you can have a go. I've also got the link to loads of questions that are like this, rather than doing your turn in the video, so you can practice them. Okay, so this tricky one that I've got on the left-hand side, it just needs some more stuff doing to it. So there's definitely brackets on both sides. So I'm going to begin by expanding the brackets. The 5 doesn't have anything to do with the brackets. This is the bracket part that I'm looking at. So I'm going to do 2 times x and then 2 times 3. And then over here, I'm going to do the negative 3 times 4, which is negative 12. And it's going to be negative 3 multiplied by negative x. A negative times a negative is a positive. That is the biggest mistake that people make. So it's actually positive 3x. Now here you can collect like terms if you want to. I would do the 5 plus the 6, and I'd simplify that to an 11. So I have 11 plus 2x. I've then got 4 take away 12. Now 4 take away 12 is minus 8 plus 3x. Now at this stage, I'm going to get rid of the smaller x. This is the smaller x, so I shall take away 2x. That leaves me with 11 equals minus 8 plus x, minus 3x. Sorry, 3x minus 2x is x. You could have the 1, but we don't do that. I'll then get rid of the minus 8 by doing plus 8, which means that 19 is equal to x. So here's one you can have a go at. It kind of pulls everything together. Pause the video and have a go now. Okay, so I'm going to begin by expanding the brackets on the right hand side. So that's 4 plus 7x equals 3. It's going to be minus 8x, and then you've got negative 4 times negative 3. That is going to be a positive 12. So 4 plus 7x equals, now I can only add the 3 and the plus 12. That is 15 minus 8x. Now the smaller x out of this one and this one, this is positive 7 and negative 8. Negative 8 is obviously smaller. The opposite of negative 8 is plus 8x. So that is 4 plus 15x. 7x and 8x is 15x, is equal to 15. I'll then get rid of the 4 by subtracting the 4. So I get 15x is equal to 11. And then I shall divide by the 15. And so x is equal to 11/15. And I don't want to give that as a decimal because it will be a long decimal. And instead, I will just write it like this, and it's in its simplest form. Okay, we will be moving on to doing equations with fractions in the next video. Found this video helpful? Then why not drop it a like and consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like the next video in the playlist, you can click here to be taken straight to it. And as always, wishing you the very best for all your studies.